In this video, we're going to discuss titrations. So titrations is a chemical method of reacting two materials in solution. In general, you'll have one beaker that will have chemical X in it, and you will have what's called a burette, which is a fairly accurate device for adding liquids. It'll have pretty accurate markings, usually 0.1 millimeters. There'll be a little device here that you can spin that will open a spigot, a little hole to allow the material through. And so you'll have chemical Y dissolved up in your burette. Well, you'll make a little drop of chemical Y, it'll fall, and you'll be able to add a little bit of chemical Y to your solution. Now, ideally, in some reaction that says X plus Y goes to Z, they'll start reacting. If we think about the solution, originally there's a lot of X. The solution starts with a great amount of X. There's no Y. So as far as this beaker is concerned, X is excess and Y is limiting. I mean, it starts with no Y, so that must be limiting. You have the least Y. But every drop adds a little bit more Y. And that'll react with some X, and the next drop will add a little bit more Y, and that'll react with the next one, and the next drop will add a bit more Y. Little by little, we change this relation. So originally there'll be some amount of X and no Y, but we'll add a little bit, and then we'll add a little bit more, and we'll add a little more. And as we keep adding, eventually they'll be equal, and if we add another drop, we'll have excess Y. Over time, we change which is limiting inside that beaker. Well, if we have some means of telling this point where they're equal, and we know the amount of Y we add, this can let us figure out how much of the X compound was in the beaker to begin with. So we may not have known the actual amount of X, but because our burette is pretty accurate for its volumes, we can see what volume we had to add and calculate out how much Y was in that volume to figure out when they were equal. This is the basic idea of a titration. You're simply adding the limiting reagent a little bit more, a little bit more, until you make them equal. Or possibly until you go past, depending on exactly what you're trying to do. Most common use of this is acids and bases. I have a beaker, it has some amount of HCl in it. And I have 25 milliliters of it, but I don't know the molarity of HCl. I do, however, have a bottle mixed up that is 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide. I can buy it, I can make it, however you want. I know the concentration of my sodium hydroxide. Well, HCl plus NaOH goes to NaCl plus water. Using this method, we can actually solve the molarity of that unknown acid, of that HCl solution. I would set up my burette. I would pour some of this solution in. I'd look at the original volume, and we'll say it starts up here at 0.0 milliliters. Well, it has plenty of NaOH in it, and I'd start adding it down below. And so the volume would go down a little bit, and the volume would go down a little bit. We'd keep adding NaOH. It'd react with some of the HCl. We'd add another drop. It'd react with more of the HCl, and we keep doing this until just all of it has reacted. We'll say that's here, the final. Well, the volume goes down. It drains down through the burette, and what we'll find if we measure this distance, read the markings on it, it went down 7.8 milliliters. So that final line, if we actually were to read the markings, was 7.8. What this lets us know is that we've added 7.8 milliliters of 0.1 molar NaOH solution. Now we need to know that we've just added enough to react with all the HCl. Luckily, there's handy molecules that can let us do that. Various indicators are small molecules that change color really intensely, even though you have very few of them. Phenolphthalein is a common one for acids and bases. As long as there's extra H plus around, it's clear. But as soon as all the H plus is gone, and there's just the tiniest extra OH minus around, this turns incredibly pink, and the whole solution will turn pink. And so literally in the span of adding a single drop, going from 7.75 milliliters, one more drop falls, and we go down to 7.80 milliliters. In that span, the solution will go from clear to pink. Because the moment you get rid of all the extra H pluses, any extra OH minus will make it turn pink. And so we can be reasonably certain that, especially within the air of our device, the amount of sodium hydroxide I needed to add to perfectly get rid of our HCl was in between these two values. And we generally just say, okay, it's going to be the last one. That last drop was what was needed. That's where it's equal. So this amount of sodium hydroxide was necessary to react with the HCl in the original 25 mils in our beaker. Well, how much sodium hydroxide was that? 0.0078 liters of NaOH solution. I know in every 1 liter there's 0.1 mole. I knew the original solution was 0.1 molar. So the 0.00078 mole of NaOH was added. This allows us to add a really tiny amount of sodium hydroxide, use a somewhat dilute solution, and add a very small volume using our burette. Since the indicator switches color right as we have equal amounts of the two, or just the tiniest hint of extra OH minus, then we can assume that this volume was the amount that we needed. Well, they're 1 to 1. So if I needed 0.00078 moles of NaOH, the balance reaction says, well, 1 mole of NaOH reacted with 1 mole of HCl. So that beaker must have contained 0.00078 mole of HCl. That's the amount that would have reacted with the sodium hydroxide to make the color change, so that's the amount that must have been there. If we'd had more HCl, I would have needed more volume before the color change. If I'd had less HCl, I would have needed less volume before the color change. This must be the amount of HCl that was present for that volume of sodium hydroxide to be needed to cause the color change. Well, that's the moles in the beaker. That was all those original HCl's available. Which means we know the moles that were in there and we know the volume of it. 0.00078 mole of HCl was in the 0.025 liters, the 25 milliliters, of our original volume in the beaker. If you divide them, that comes out at 0.0312 molar HCl. If I want to know what the molarity of that original acid was, I'd need to know how much HCl was in the volume. We can solve it by reacting it with sodium hydroxide, using an indicator to tell us right as they're equal, in which case I just need to know how much sodium hydroxide I had to add to make the color change happen. So use a known concentration of sodium hydroxide and a burette to add a very precise, very slowly added volume so that we don't go past the point where it changes color. This is the general idea of a titration. It's not just for acids and bases. You can use this to test for anything in solution. Sodium iodide aqueous, lead nitrate aqueous will react to make lead iodide solid and sodium nitrate aqueous. 2 to 1 to 1 to 2. In this case, you can test how much lead is in a solution. Every time sodium iodide is added, if you have a beaker and it has some lead nitrate in it, there's lead 2 pluses, there's nitrates. Well, you set up a burette with a known concentration of sodium iodide, and you start to add it. You get some iodide in there, You need another drop or two to get more iodide in there, but eventually you get enough iodide to react with all the lead. Every drop will react some of it, and you'll make a little bit of solid. They'll sink to the bottom, any lead still free in solution. If more iodide gets added, can find it, make more solid. And so bit by bit, you'll build up some solids at the bottom until eventually you run out of lead and you won't get any more solid. Since we can see the solid form right as the drop impacts, it turns in this nice yellow powder. As soon as you stop seeing that happen, you've reacted all the lead. Indicators are a little better, but any physical property that we can observe and use to figure out when we've added just enough can be used to do this type of work. Titrations are our method of finding out how much of one thing is in solution by adding a very accurate amount of a second thing to that solution, dropwise until we get just enough to have it do the reaction.